Welcome back to Byte Sized Business, the show on the internet that discusses all things business, AI, and technological, and makes them easy to swallow. I'm your host, Jim. This is my co-host, Aiden, and it's been a pretty good day. It's been a pretty good time. I learned what ceiling birds are today. That's fun. If you ever want to go down a fun hole, just Google that, specifically on Reddit, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah. And if you have ceiling birds, please replace the batteries. Just do it. Do it for the people.
Immediately, it just raises your house value.
A 9-volt battery is $1 if you order it from Amazon in bulk.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Today's
yeah, that'll be another topic. Can millennials do home repair? Like that would be the
no. That's why TaskRabbit exists. You don't need
because if millennials can't do it, Gen Z is just absolutely ruined.
Yep. I want the all-in-one delivery service. I want the guy to bring me my Panda Express and then change my light bulbs.
Like the guy that's gonna like bring your Amazon groceries in and put them in the fridge, which is totally not a.
I want him to put them in the fridge, cook me the meal, and then also tuck me in at night and kiss me on the forehead.
Yeah, he'll both produce the leftovers by cooking first and then be there to reheat them.
Is that too much to ask for in a service?
I mean, Amazon's got us covered. Yeah,
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, all in one. That's what. Bundling. I think it's the future.
Uber Eats already does that. Uber Eats, you can order.
Kisses me on the forehead and tucks me in the bed.
Okay, but Uber Eats, you can get fast food delivered. You can also get groceries delivered. And
you also
DoorDash does the same thing
about drinks because your driver takes a little sip.
Yeah, he checks it for you. Make sure it's the right thing.
Yeah, basically.
Make sure it's not poison.
He like sucks it in. He like does the wine tasting thing and
spits it back in.
It's always kind of gross. Like, why would the strawberry in your drink unless they drink out of it? Like, why would like I said,
maybe this is a hot take, but like if there's a straw involved, just give me a new straw. I'm not too bothered.
Do it for the turtles.
Yeah, Sam's like, you can take a little sip if you want. That's fine. That's okay. You work hard.
Get a new straw. Don't tell me.
I won't tip you,
we'll
but
be cool.
That's your tip. But I'm fine with it. So he'll put his address down below for anyone delivering to that. Just know you can take a fry, you can take a sip.
Yeah, the reason why we don't get takeout has nothing to do with being miserly. It's totally about fear of pre-sampling.
I want to become a DoorDasher just so I can pre-sample everybody's. I'm like, you would never have to buy your own groceries.
I had that thought today, like if you're doing Walmart delivery and somebody orders bananas, right? It's by weight. So you weigh the bananas and they say they want like 6 bananas. You just get 7 bananas, weigh them, check out, pull a banana off, get a free banana.
Here's a flaw with your plan. Somebody's gonna actually take the bathroom scale and they're gonna bring that to the kitchen.
Wait a second.
And that was
There's a banana.
In this town probably. Then
the E. coli outbreak will start.
That's what causes the E. coli. Your sinful banana gets infected.
I just want a banana. Is it too much to ask?
What is the deal with the Reddit banana thing? Have you seen that? They changed their logo to a banana. Like, what prompted that?
Does that have to do with the banana artwork?
They got sold.
Is it related to the SpaceX launch with banana for scale, or is it some other meme? Did you see that? Like, they loaded the Starship with a banana that was like mounted to a plaque made of titanium or something.
Oh.
And it said banana for scale, and they like etched it on the side with like artwork.
Maybe. I don't know. I know the banana artwork was recently in the news again. I don't remember what for, but I think
it's been resold again.
It's been resold again?
Banana duct taped to a wall. Yep.
That's right.
Sold at auction for
There's no way that still looks like a banana at this point.
It's got to be a fake banana. It's got to be a fake banana.
I'm pretty sure it's either a fake banana or is a photo of the banana.
Perhaps.
So NFTs are back.
Basically.
Hey, yo. Bored Ape Banana for Scale NFT. Find the link down below. We're launching it. You can get it.
I actually own an NFT.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
do.
A Bored Ape?
No, so I own the 100 Thieves NFT.
How much is that worth?
I don't know.
Oh.
But they minted a bunch of NFTs and you could sign up and you got one for free.
Heck yeah.
And the idea was it would become a collector's issue. Now that Nadeshot has gone completely banana cuckoos,
Banana for scale. Right?
Banana for scale.
Yeah.
Cuckoo for closure.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's I don't know.
Nate Shot.
Something happened to Nate Shot, and he's gone. I don't know. He got really freaked out there for some reason.
There's definitely no correlation between like mental health issues and streamers.
Yeah. No.
No, of course.
Diddy gets captured, and all of a sudden Nate Shot goes crazy. He's like, what?
Well, I think the Nate Shot thing happened before the Diddy thing.
I thought we already concluded though, as long as you don't stream Minecraft or hit 1 million followers, you're good. Like it's something that happens when you hit 1 million, where like you think you're special.
Maybe.
And then,
I don't know. Something about streaming from a bathroom. I don't know.
Dude, what is going on with that? Did
I
we
don't know.
discuss that already? Why is Kai Cenat like showering on stream?
Oh, because he can't not shower for 30 days.
Oh, is that the thing?
Yeah,
Live stream for 30 days?
Yeah. So it started with the
Okay, that makes more sense, but still, it's a little
Yeah.
weird that he's showering.
So streamathons and stuff aren't new. Ludwig made them.
Oh, it's also because Kai was talking to that girl that has been live for 3 years straight.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So
Even she stopped streaming.
She stopped
continuously,
She stopped.
though.
Well, she stopped showering on stream. I don't know. Apparently, she has been live.
So she hasn't showered in 3 years. Like,
No, she used to shower on stream, and then she says she doesn't shower on stream anymore.
Twitch updated their TOS and she had to.
wait, hot tub.
Dang it.
What happened to hot tub streams?
Yo,
Like,
hot tub.
that was my game plan. If this podcast didn't work out,
No, but yeah. So Ludwig popularized the streamathon. He called it was a subathon, where basically if you subscribe, it increases the duration of the stream by a certain amount.
is that like the guy that said?
And he ended up having to. He broke the all-time sub record, and then he ended up having to finally, after a month, he had to cap it. He had his, I have to end this. And so, but all the way up to the very end, people kept subscribing. So it became a very lucrative thing. This was a big thing. He thought he was going to be Twitch's golden boy. But then what happened was, after he got offered a deal by YouTube, and he was like, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So he's got a whole long story where basically he told YouTube, hey, I think I'm going to go with Twitch. And YouTube was like, hey, we want you on YouTube, we want this, we want that, what do we'll give you this, we'll give you that, blah, blah, blah. He went to Twitch, he said, hey, I think I'm going to go to YouTube. Have fun.
Hey, yo.
After bringing in record profits for the company,
Twitch is like,
nothing.
we don't care.
yeah, Twitch is like, boom, you're out of here.
Go to YouTube.
You got to remember though that Twitch made $120 billion last year through AWS, and everything else they do is a loss leader.
Yes,
It's
yes.
literally just the whole company's just AWS.
Twitch is a
What's
Twitch is a
AWS?
Amazon Web Services.
Oh.
that's their cloud
But like
platform.
every other segment of Amazon loses money.
Yeah. All Twitch is a funnel for Amazon Prime, as well as a promotion for their AWS and their live streaming services that they offer through AWS.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at an operating report. It was saying like their quarterly earnings, they only made like $1 billion of profit total as a company, but it's like 40 billion of that was AWS segment. So it's like plus 40 billion. Everything else was negative 39. So it's like,
Hey, didn't break even.
that's why corporate income tax will never happen effectively.
Basically. So anyway, so now Kai Cenat, he broke the all-time sub record with his last, what is he calling it? Mafia-thon? Is what he's
right.
calling it. And then Iron Mouse is a VTuber. She broke the all-time sub record after Kai Cenat.
Yeah.
And now Kai Cenat's broken it again.
Shout out to Ludwig who started that whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hey,
So anyway,
kisses to the OG.
so there's a whole like, it's a whole thing. It's crazy,
Do you know who Kai's neighbor is?
isn't it?
One house to the right.
It's not Kevin Hart, is it?
Kevin Hart was in a stream.
I know.
talking about
Kevin Hart's in his
neighbor,
stream all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know who his neighbor is.
as is currently in prison.
Yo, was it
waiting
Diddy?
trial.
Yo, was it Diddy?
Yo.
Holy cow! Dadgum.
Yeah, so I'm
Man,
waiting for the
he is-
hammer to drop on this.
Slipped right out the window.
Yeah, on all that baby oil.
Well, that was the crazy thing. They found a secret tunnel that went to the next house.
No, there's no.
No.
Kevin Hart found it. That was the clip I saw the other day.
Oh my gosh. He's like, yeah, this goes to Diddy's mansion.
This goes to Diddy's freak off cavern.
Yeah. The whole
Golly.
tunnel all under that street. It all just
Yeah. So on that tangent, what were you talking about?
to live next to Diddy. Yeah. To be a crazy streamer. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Live the life. I don't know. I feel like that's like a race to the bottom type situation though. When you're going that crazy. I mean, because Ludwig he set the record at like a month, and then like I said, they just keep going and keep going and keep going crazier, and I'm like, at what point? When is it?
Well, I guess at what point? How do you stop like topping the last thing? It's like Evel Knievel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Evel Knievel jumps a car. He's like, okay, and people are like, yeah, we've seen him
Anyone
jump a car.
can jump a car.
He starts jumping buses and stuff, and it's just like gets crazier and crazier. And at one point, you're like, this is probably a bad idea. But you can't stop because the people have already seen the last.
Yeah, how far can you go?
Yeah.
But maybe also it's a testament to pushing human boundaries.
That's true.
They thought the 4-minute mile was impossible until somebody broke it.
And that was without Red Bull. That's
I know. Yeah, it's probably with methamphetamine though. But but he was saying Bolt then did it naturally. It was fine. It's fine. So
I was thinking of that scene from Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Where at the very beginning, Phineas Fogg has his butler or whatever, his buddy, his servant helper, whatever guy. He had him strapped to the roller coaster. He has him go 50 miles an hour on this roller coaster. He's like, "Ha! I have finally proven that men can go up to 50 miles an hour without exploding." And it's like, oh wow, okay, yeah. That's great.
Those youngins, that was a belief they held. If you go over 50 miles an hour, your internal organs would explode. That was a scientific fact until it was not. Yes, much like how they thought there was like 500 stars in the sky, and then they're like, actually, there's a.
Then somebody blew out the candle, more. And they're like, whoa!
Yeah. there's like a whole bunch up there. What?
You're counting about methamphetamine in the Olympics. Kind of maybe you go sideways in here, but I was like thinking about these articles I was reading that were talking about how Olympic world records have increased their cadence, the how often we break world records. Like it was talking about the Beijing Olympics in 2008 and how all the swing records have been unseated, all of them.
Yeah.
So it's like the pace that we're breaking records just keeps shortening. Right. But it's like how much of that is really driven by like human physique, human capability, and then versus like science.
Selective breeding, yeah.
Well, maybe like CRISPR has an effect. Maybe like training regimen, like it's become way more scientific. Maybe it has to do with like I don't know, enhancements, testosterone injections, things like that.
I know a lady boxer that definitely. She was having a good time. No, I think it's probably a mixed bag of all that.
Yeah.
We know a lot more about the human body. Honestly, if you want to see something crazy, how much we have learned about the human body in like the last 50 years. Crazy. Bananas. Like stuff that you're like, oh, they must have known this for all of time. They probably figured it out like 20 years ago.
Apparently, if you just inject bleach into your lungs, that cures COVID. So
yeah, that's probably
was a new discovery.
That was. I prefer to drink it actually, but hey, to each their own.
No, he's got to get in the lungs. You have to aspirate it.
Oh, that's right. I cook it and then I just breathe it in. I actually put it in my vape.
My other favorite article that's coming out recently is like ivermectin. If you've heard of that one, it's supposed to be like the cure for cancer. And people are like, yeah, I went down to Tractor Supply, I got some, because it's horse dewormer. Like that's what it chemically is, and it's been sold as that for like 50 years. People are like, I really like the apple flavor. It's like, but apparently it's been effective at curing parasites, but it also removes other.
Turns out it just cures cancer. Yeah, that's crazy. Who
weird side effect.
There's someone who's like, none of these horses are dying of cancer. That's crazy. How did that happen?
Yeah.
I did hear about tiny robots that are going in and can cut out cancer cells. That's pretty crazy.
It's not crazy science. I mean, I've seen some really interesting stuff that's being done with nanobots in the fertility space. So,
hey yo, what? Just a nanobot? Just
it's like a little it's like a little spring. It just starts spinning, and it goes around a sperm. And then it just
some doctor's got a Beyblade up to a lady. He's like, just stand still. Hold on, I got really good aim.
Basically, no, but this little nanobot just straps that little sperm to his back and carries him into the freaking carries him for the dub.
If it's defective, then why are they're intervening, right? But they're utilizing a defective component here.
You got a weak swimmer, but gosh dang it, we'll get it in there.
Which is like
Well,
we're not meant
we
to
remove all the
reproduce.
natural
Yeah,
elements out of.
But they have said
mean-
that all of the microplastics in our body are what's slowing down our sperm. That's what it is. So it's something that could have been viable, but it's the 400 7-Eleven plastic bags I got in my in my stuff that is causing the issue.
So we got to start drinking out of mason jars. Is what you're hearing.
Yes. Yeah.
Got to get crunchy, my guy. Got to get crunchy.
Yes. Which, what even is microplastics? You know,
It's a funny thing. I was thinking about that too, like how everything's killing us because like it's like in the construction material space, like everything you touch, it's like declared hazardous.
everything is known
later.
to the state of California to cause cancer.
Yeah, and like then the rest of the country catches on that like that thing we've been doing for 50 years in all of our homes also can't like
Hey guys, we
actually
shouldn't
health
eat
risk.
asbestos. That's probably not good.
I mean, I think about that every time I have to do one of the stupid lead disclosure forms for real estate. Every house sold after 1984 has to have a lead disclosure signed by both parties. It's like,
Hey, do we know that there's lead in this building?
and it's not even a declaration that there is or is not. It's just you should know lead exposure may have happened because it's like I don't know. But
You should know to not eat the paint chips. These ones are not safe.
how we go from like
No, the
asbestos ceiling
salsa
tiles
does
to-
not help.
New construction, that's fine. You can eat the walls. It's okay.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah,
my
just
point. It's like
break out the
50
chunk of
years from now, who knows
plaster.
how many elements are going to be, the adhesives we use in carpets, so one day they'll be like, yeah, gypsum is the great killer. It's like, oh, drywall's going to come out.
Apparently, I recently read this fact it was a myth that in the original Wizard of Oz, the snow that was used to cover Dorothy in the poppy scene, it was a tall tale that was asbestos coming down as the snow. Apparently, they used
It wasn't even a
gypsum.
props. It was just like falling.
Yeah, I know. Earthquake that hit the building.
Maintenance was upstairs cleaning off the cobwebs.
Yeah. Breathe deep, boys. Breathe deep.
Apparently, it was gypsum though, not asbestos.
Oh.
Yes.
How many of those have died from cancer? Now we gotta know because that might be the.
Yeah.
How many
wow.
of the
Of the
original
actors.
staff of
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz died from cancer?
Well, it did make me go on a rabbit hole down Judy Garland's life, and that was crazy. That was, man, you want to talk about
The actor for
the
Dorothy?
actress of Dorothy, yeah, Judy Garland.
Yeah.
That was not a good time. She made fun movies, though, so, you know.
No principal actors from the original The Wizard of Oz are known to have died from cancer or an asbestos-related cause.
Well, I guess gypsum's okay then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can probably eat
It's a food
gypsum.
additive now.
Yeah. Probably has magnesium or something in it.
Apparently, the Scarecrow's costume was flame-proofed with asbestos.
Oh, so he's fine. he did, in fact, yeah. You know, it's not real if you don't diagnose it, so.
That's
Like,
true.
is he dying of cancer? I don't know. Don't
Schrodinger's
check.
cat, but in the medical
And
field.
apparently,
Just
the
don't diagnose it.
paint. Hold on, what's this about? The Tin Man's body paint apparently did something bad to him.
Yeah, was it all lead paint? Probably.
Buddy Ebsen was originally cast in the role of the Tin Woodman, aka the Tin Man, but he was essentially poisoned by the makeup, which was made of pure aluminum dust. 9 days after filming started, he was hospitalized, sitting under an oxygen tent. When he was not getting better fast enough, the filmmakers hired Jack Haley to be the Tin Man instead. This time, instead of applying
He's dead. We'll just move on. Come on.
instead of applying the aluminum powder, the makeup artists mixed into a paste and painted it on him. He did develop an infection in his right eye that needed medical attention, but it ended up being treatable.
Third actor's a charm. They just keep bringing him in.
They didn't change what they covered him in. They're just like, all right, we gotta just put it on him a different way.
Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West and was the one tipped who Harmet off to the turmoil on set, more than 3 decades later for her 1977 book got burns, and the makeup artist had to rush to remove her copper makeup so that it wouldn't seep through her wounds and become toxic. Unlike Ebsen, she didn't get fired because they could live without her on the set for several more weeks.
So wait, it was aluminum dust. Was he getting like just unlimited
He was
aluminum splinters in his body?
It was basically
and his
he was
lungs?
getting chemtrailed.
Chemtrails are now illegal in one state. Did you see that? They banned chemtrails in
Oh,
like Arkansas
well,
or
that's
something.
probably fine.
But it's just kind of funny.
Maybe a dub.
I like how there's that much lore about the Wizard of Oz. It's like
Yes, yeah, it was a crazy production. A lot of those
you
movies back
also
then
gotta
were
understand,
crazy.
like this movie was one of the very first ever color movies.
Yes, it was
And-
almost the first, but Gone with the Wind beat it.
Yeah, and
'Cause they
and
were
the
trying to
fact
do something
that
cute.
the fact that it went from a traditional black and white film, and then like halfway through the beginning of the movie, it flipped over to color.
Bananas.
Shocking, stunning, incredible.
Stunning, amazing.
Especially since modern television was still mostly black and white. So like any commercial you saw for it, it was just black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had commercials back then.
Yeah, they did.
Like I was thinking about.
I'm sure
this.
they did. I'm sure
In
they
the
did.
in the 40s? When was that? 50s?
No, they probably didn't have commercials, but they probably had. I mean, they had some sort of advertising.
They're probably like, hey, this afternoon, go to the Nickel Theater and watch Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
Pay 1 penny for
Like
entry.
1928. It's like
2 pennies will get you a popcorn.
Popcorn and a Coca-Cola.
Oh,
after our last
with actual
popcorn
cocaine.
experience.
That was our last discussion. Oh, man. Well, see, all of this is evident of our topic for today. All of that stuff is all indicative of successful marketing campaigns. Must have been, because we're still talking about it. So today's topic, submitted by a viewer, was what is the difference between sales versus marketing? For anyone that's worked in marketing and sales, you know that there is a difference, and you know it's always the other guy's fault that the product isn't being sold.
Yeah, marketing's got bad leads and sales
Yeah.
can't close them.
Marketing is giving us crap leads, and salesmen are a bunch of softies that can't close anybody. What the heck? And
As somebody with a marketing degree, I have to tell you, it is the salesmen just don't know how to close.
brother,
Just saying.
brother. So I've had the privilege of being on both ends of sales and marketing, and I have dealt with very terrible leads that I'm like, why am I calling this person? There's no way this is anything. And then also I've given golden leads and handed them off to some dumb salesman, and he did nothing with it. And I'm like, this is great. Thank you. Perfect.
The funniest marketing interaction was I had a client, I gave him about 150 leads that month in the property management space.
Oh my gosh.
Like all these leasing leads. And I'm on this conference call with them, and they're telling me how the leads are no good. They're not closing. So I go, all right, well, a lead just came in 15 minutes ago. I just saw the email. Give him a call. And while I was on the speakerphone with them, they called them. They picked up. They scheduled an appointment to lease. I'm like, what's wrong with our leads?
What's the problem?
So it's just it's funny how, you know, depending on who you're talking to, that's the problem. But yeah,
Yeah, I have. I've worked with people who. There was one company I worked with. It was a cabin cleaning company, and the person who said they were the marketing expert, which at the time I didn't know the difference between marketing and sales. I was like, okay, you're the marketing expert, so when people call, you pick up and you just make the deals, and I'll go clean the cabins. Perfect. Listening to this guy talk, a client called in. He said, "Hello, what do you want?" And the client was like, is this the cabin cleaning company?" And he's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" He was like, "Do you guys work up in this area?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, how much? And he's like, "I don't know, how big's your apartment?" He's like, I don't know, like 2 bedrooms, a bathroom. He's like, I don't know, I'll get back to you. I was like, what the heck?
I think what he did there, though, he set expectations and put the ball fully in his courts that he did not need this client. And I think that really is what forced the sale.
That is one thing that drives me so insane, is when these business owners get so cocky and so arrogant where they just like, yeah, I don't need it. I can pick and choose. It's like, but can you really though? Can you really? Like,
Yeah, if you're at a certain level,
if you're at
you
a certain
can.
level, yeah. But I'm talking about people who aren't at that level.
You're
Yeah.
not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy. You're not that guy.
But if you could cross that threshold, it's so much better on the other side.
Well, for the soundbite for the TikTok, so that we have some good clips that sound good that can get us some get us some marketing here. Tell me if I'm wrong, if you agree with these definitions. Marketing is the funnel Marketing is the strategy for the funnel that gets leads to the salesman. The salesmen or sales are the ones that actively close the deals. That's all they do. It's their job to close deals. Oftentimes they can participate in prospecting. They can participate in getting their own leads. They can participate in the whole journey of the customer. But you're a salesman when you are closing leads and collecting money.
Going with that funnel example, I'd say the workflow is kind of like awareness, branding, lead generation, conversion, and then implementation or like product activation. And like the top half is definitely your marketing, and then you got your salesman, but there's also a handoff to then your CS reps, your relationship managers in a larger company, where because without that step, you're just going to lose customers out the door as quickly as you're gaining them. So it's like that full funnel is kind of that the different elements of the relationship with a potential client. Now, that's usually with more high ticket stuff or anything that's relationship based selling. But like on e-commerce sites, it's probably a little bit different, right? It's just mass market, and if it's a $30 sale, you don't need a sales rep for something like that. So yeah,
well, at that point, then your website is the salesman, right?
Right.
Like that's the landing page that gets them through, gives them the confidence to click the buy button, and boom.
And I guess to that point, it's like there are websites that have to do the sales elements. Like you've got to have what's it called? Like customer validation. You've got to have authority. This comes from either like peer-reviewed sources, stuff like that. A lot of companies on their websites talk about like as seen on TV, or they list news articles where they've been mentioned, or seen on Shark Tank is a big one. It's like that validation. And then you
research it and you're like, they should have never been with it.
Yeah. It's like, I've never heard of this.
We were on Shark Tank. We just didn't make it into the episode.
Yeah. Which is why I stopped ordering products off Facebook, because I'd buy stuff and then it would never show up. And I'm like, but it was as seen on TV.
This was real.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary promised me this was a real product. Dude, you know what I
definitely was not AI Kevin O'Leary.
I think the best product endorsement ever was Kevin O'Leary was a spokesperson for FTX. I don't know if you're familiar with FTX, but in the Super Bowl ad next to Tom Brady and Kevin O'Leary and Matt
Sam
Damon.
Bankman-Fried, look him up. Sam Bankman-Fried.
Sam Bankman-Fried, Forbes 30 under 30. Just look them all. Every
Did
single
nothing
one
wrong.
Of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elizabeth Holmes, Sam Bankman-Fried. That whole beautiful
I
thing.
think Ellsworth or whatever her name was. Like, I think she got out already.
Elizabeth Holmes?
No. The other girlfriend. Yeah.
They both looked.
She basically, if I remember correctly, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, somebody will let me know. But she basically took like a plea deal.
Basically to rat. I don't know if she ratted, but like. Yeah.
Bro, she ratted.
What I will say, they were.
In fairness, though, Bankman kind of threw her under the bus in some depositions.
Yes.
So
So
tried to pin the entire thing.
I'm not saying.
As if she was the mastermind of it all. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad.
She's the mastermind.
But I'm not saying it's bad what she did. But I'm just saying she ratted at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The best part of that whole story, though, was
no good women, no faithful women anymore.
But they lived on like island in the Bahamas, right? And the best part of the court documents is the $1 million they spent on DoorDash for an office of 6 people in a year. How does one spend? What is that per day? It's like $30,000 a day on DoorDash.
Oh my gosh! What?
I mean,
man, that McDonald's ain't cheap.
Yeah, they were ordering DoorDash from Florida, and they had to kick it out by boat out there.
So it's the Bidenomics, man.
Yeah.
inflation's hitting hard.
Bruh. I will say they were phenomenal actors. There was lots of times where they were pleading incompetence, and I was like, they might just be dumb. That might actually be the case. Someone gave them $1 billion that really should not have.
It's like that kid that he made it crypto, pumped it, got 30K, and then shut it down.
Yeah,
He's just like
game's got to respect game at the end of the day.
He made 30K, pulled the rug, but then a bunch of other people found the coin, pumped it up. His $30,000 that he would have gotten would have been like $30 million.
Yeah. You're talking about the kid that was live streaming?
Yeah. He flipped off everybody. Yeah.
Well, he's 14, which is he shouldn't even have a PayPal account. Legally, you have to be 18 to make one. But
you can have a PayPal Teens account.
There's a teen version now.
Yeah.
Got to get them started young.
Get them young.
Debt.
We're seeing. My wife and I are seeing ads for Uber Teens, it's like Uber. You can get a car.
Your kid can get kidnapped.
Yeah, your kid can get in a car with a stranger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing that we were always told never
Remember,
to do.
kids, don't get cars and strangers.
Unless they have cancer.
Also-
Remember, kids, don't talk to strangers on the internet. Okay, Mom, I'm going to go get in a car with a stranger I met on the internet.
You got to check them all off at once. Yeah.
Bruh. $1 million
Yeah.
divided by 365. Yeah, it's $2,739.
27,000.
No, 2,700. What? Yeah, $1 million divided by 365.
That's all it is? Okay,
27.
I can see how they can spend that on DoorDash every day.
Aiden's immediately like,
Aiden's like, I spend
The
that.
story makes more sense
Yeah,
now,
okay.
actually.
He's like, I spend that on
Judge,
DoorDash.
they're cool. They're chill.
Yeah.
That makes, yep.
It is only, okay, yeah, I was wrong.
Man.
Now divide that number by 6.
Okay, yeah. How much were they per
Okay, that
person?
is still like $400 per person.
Divided by 6. Yeah, $456 per person a day.
You know, 5 Guys order for 1 is like 50, so it's not that crazy.
Sam Bankman-Fried was just broken. He was just getting big, you know?
Dude, the cut was going to be insane. I bet the cut in jail
The
was
cut in
insane.
jail, insane. Maybe he cut his hair too because he looked really goofy.
The
They're
best part is
they're
like
going to use him as a mop, dude.
he negotiated like internet access during his like house arrest pre-trial. Like he was still actively trading.
Who would be like judges? Like, yeah, that's a good idea. There's just internet access. He's probably just gonna play World of Warcraft or something. That's probably fine.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the story of this kid, this hacker that was under house arrest, and they took away all of his stuff except a Fire Stick. And he hacked into a government agency with an Amazon Fire Stick. I'm like, what the heck?
That is both a testament to his brilliance and a testament to the incompetence of the
I'm
government.
like, you know, there you go.
No, it's too
Give
good.
a mouse a Fire Stick and they'll hack your government agency.
Give a mouse a fire stick and he'll...
Commit terrorism. Yeah. Sales versus marketing. You know, it's you budding entrepreneurs. You will wear both of those hats lots of times in your life, but it is helpful to understand the difference of each action. You can be a great web developer, but if you do not have the end goal in mind of the sale, doesn't matter how beautiful your website is, it's not going to push any conversions.
Yeah.
That's the ending spiel of it's important to understand each role you are playing, not just putting it all in one bucket.
And that's the other thing. It's one continuation there. It's like, you know, marketing's got to set the ball so that sales can spike it.
Yep.
Kind of deal.
Yep. Marketing
And that's where that argument always comes
places the
from.
ball.
Like,
Advertising kicks it. Sales grabs it and touches down. And then
and
HR.
then there's a field goal and somebody's in the penalty box. Like,
yes,
it's
HR
like
deals with all of the
yeah.
lawsuits along
It's
the way.
it's every sport in one. Or my favorite.
Yeah, someone's
sport.
playing golf on the field.
Yeah,
What the heck?
4.
That's finance.
Yeah.
That well, yeah.
But-
IT's over there playing like racquetball.
They're just what the heck?
But yeah, if you haven't taken the time though to learn both those skill sets, then definitely worth some
You're missing
reading.
out.
Because
No, it is also important to know. Yeah, they are all pieces of one flow, of one structure. So the more you understand of one, even if you're a salesman, the more you know about marketing, the better your sales will be. And as a marketer, you absolutely have to have an understanding of how sales work so that your marketing can be effective.
Well, and I think to add on to that as well, at the end of the day, the marketing, the advertising, the sales all have to have the same message. Because if I'm saying, the marketing is saying, we're going to help, this product will cure your cancer, and then it gets to, the advertisement says, this product will cure your thyroid diseases, and then sales is like, yep, you'll get your hair back, man. Don't worry about
These
it.
nanobots will cure your cancer, and they just are getting a bunch of people pregnant. Wait a second. Whoa.
Basically, yeah. But like you said, it's one cohesive flow. Everybody has to be on the same side. Everybody has to be on the same team. So this idea that, you know, we're taking marketing and marketing's blaming sales for not closing. Sales is blaming marketing for not producing qualified leads.
right.
It's all counterproductive to the sum of the greater whole or the sum of the parts, which is that at the end of the day, we're all just trying to make money. We're all trying to provide for our families. We all want to.
No, just
We all just want to get that house in Cabo.
bruh. I just want that Tesla.
Dude, actually.
Dunk on Elon as much as you want, but that's the coolest iPad I've ever seen. So
It does have like a 21-inch display in the Cybertruck.
yeah, I just want it for the iPad.
The light bar might not function in the winter, but that's fine.
All right.
You don't need that anyway.
Who needs to
Seeing
see?
at night? What?
Yeah.
It's
The
great.
trunk or the frunk, I guess.
They fixed that, but
they
you see the
fixed
guy
the-
put his fingers in there. I didn't want to watch it, and then I finally watched it. I'm like, oh, he just crushed his fingers really bad.
Yeah, the frunk was like eating people, like chewing them up. It was
Talking
crazy.
about the Cybertruck.
With the aftermarket teeth, yeah. But yeah, I guess like when I draw the entrepreneurship triangle or the business triangle with the 3 sectors, you've got your sales and marketing,
Father, the Son,
finance, and you've got
marketing, finance,
operations.
yeah.
Operations.
Operations. Yeah.
So if you want to get into entrepreneurship,
Anyone
you're gonna
reading
have
the
to,
E-Myth right now is like,
I recognize that.
saying the words.
But if you want to be good at
French technician.
entrepreneurship, you're gonna need to pick a focus of one of those 3 that's your strength, and then understand
Yes.
enough to be able to evaluate the effectiveness of your third-party partners. Like if you know nothing about marketing, you're not gonna have an effective marketing call with the marketing agency. If you know nothing about the sales world, like how are you gonna hire a good salesman, be able to ask them good questions, evaluate their experience?
Understand your weaknesses, delve into your weaknesses, research your weaknesses, but don't necessarily make your weaknesses your strength. If you spend all your time, if you're a terrible salesman and you spend all your time trying to become a great salesman, you're probably wasting your time. It is much easier to, if you're a great marketer, be a great marketer and go find a great salesman, understand what the sales concepts are so you can find the good salesman, but then hire a great salesman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
The thing that I think is important to also know though is that with small businesses who maybe can't afford an entire ecosystem like that, they think that, marketing is going to get me more clients.
Just get a
But at the end of the
$10
day,
million
like
loan.
if you're a baker, you're not a salesman. You're a baker. You need to hire somebody who can do the
Sam,
sales.
are you talking out of personal experience?
I'm talking out
with
of
a
personal experiences
personal
with
client
a
you
personal
have
client
right
that I
now?
have that
What was the really good line you told me? It's like, hey, I made this ad for guitars. Great. How many guitars is this going to sell?
So I was talking to a professor
None.
of mine from
Anytime.
college, and I was venting about this issue that I had with a client about how he's complaining about how, hey, we've only had like 2 sales.
Your marketing isn't getting me customers.
Yeah, we've only had like 2 or 3 sales this month. I'm like, well, I've sent you like 19 leads, so I don't know so far. I don't know where the disconnect is. And he's like, well, anyway. So I was venting to my teacher.
And then this mother.
No, so anyway, I started talking to my professor.
he's always the salesman.
from college. I was talking to my professor from college, and he was saying like, yeah, that was an argument and a conversation that I had to have regularly with higher ups. That I would make an ad, and they would ask me, so how many guitars is this ad gonna sell? He's like, well, the ad's gonna sell 0 guitars because that's not what an ad does. The ad will help bring awareness
and
to the
branding,
product,
yeah,
awareness and branding to the product. But are your salesmen going to actually sell the guitars at that point? At the point, the ball's in your court. There is nothing I can do.
I'm setting all of these balls, but no one is. Also, they're playing volleyball on that field.
Let's. I want to circle back to what it said in comments. Like, if you don't have, if you're too small of a business, that you don't necessarily have enough budget for the ecosystem, I'd argue the opposite, saying if you don't have the 3 elements, you're never going to have the budget for the ecosystem, because you have to understand your cash flow, you have to understand sales and marketing, and you have to understand operations. If you can't implement and deliver the product, you can't get people to buy the product, or you can't finance the operations, then you don't really have a business. So
Well, and so to that point, I mean, kind of going against what you said, Jim. If you're not a baker, don't be a salesman. Mm-hmm. Or if you're not a baker, don't be a baker. Or if you're not a salesman, don't try and be a salesman.
Sure.
Don't make your weak things strong.
Right.
But when you are a one-man show and you are trying to develop that ecosystem, you do kind of
That's true.
have to.
Economies of scale.
Economies of scale, exactly.
As in these 3 attributes, say your marketing is good, your operations is good, your marketing is decent, and your sales is bad. your company will grow to that bottom rung. So it will grow until it matches sales, because that's your lowest thing. So, I mean, it's still going to grow, but then you're like, okay, what's the bottleneck here? It's like, oh, sales. So either you study sales or you get someone to increase those sales, and then it'll go up to the next thing. It's like, oh, now operations is hindering you, or marketing or whatever.
And I mean, I'm very heavily interested in the creator economy. And one of the first things that everybody always says about the creator economy is, as soon as you can hire somebody to edit your videos for you, do it. And it's kind of the same thing, economies of scale. If I don't have to worry about editing and all I have to do is worry about ideation and recording, then I can just offload all of the heavy, because the editing is the part that takes forever.
Yeah. Right. Which some people say, maybe you're a crazy editor, but you're also the face. He's like, you don't even have to get that great of an editor. Just someone that opens up that free time.
What's interesting though is like, I've seen a lot of interviews by creators that talk about that the fact that they were successful is in large part tied to the fact they edited their own videos to begin with. Like they understood the process of being able to select cuts and what makes good transitions, pacing, scripting, things like that. So without that firsthand knowledge, they wouldn't have been able to then talk to their providers and kind of scale the operation. So it's like there's some things that are so fundamental to certain types of businesses that you basically can't delegate those things unless you have an understanding. So you got to identify that for whatever small business you're running. But I mean, it's like somebody who has no knowledge of baking running a restaurant or like a bakery, that'd be kind of ridiculous at some level.
Yeah. I remember when I was in high school, I really wanted to be a pastry chef. And I talked to a restaurant owner, and I was like, hey, you own a restaurant. I want to own a restaurant. I want to own a bakery. He's like, do you want to own a bakery or do you want to be a baker? I was like, I want to be a baker. Then you do not want to be a restaurant owner. Yep. The restaurant owner is a business-focused person with a passion for baking. That's what they are. A baker is a person that is a baker with a passion for business, right? And so those two people come together. They can both kind of speak each other's languages, but at the end of the day, one person's over the business, the other person's over the operations.
Right.
So,
but like going off that too, it's like everyone's kind of got their own kind of skill set or personality. Like salesmen tend to be more driven, more assertive, more confrontational.
All of you have.
Your marketing guys, they tend to be more creative types. Like your finance guys will be analytical.
People. Yeah.
Operations are going to be more task oriented. Like, I mean, they're going to love going through a checklist. Like if you already what your skill set is, like if you don't have a little bit of self-reflection and figure it out.
Myers-Briggs personality test?
Yeah, go take a personality test. That'll get you going in the right direction.
Myers-Briggs, the personality test designed by people who had never created a personality test and had 0 psychology degrees or anything.
Yeah, just kind of answer as you feel, and then you get a different output every time.
Yeah. Someone referred to that as business astrology. I'm like, yep. Much like technical analysis of stock markets.
What? Technical analysis is real.
Well, yeah.
The MACD, the accumulation zone. You got your, there's something there. You start drawing triangles.
Going from the monkey's backstop to the queen's dunk, and then down to where we're gonna get the teapots Holocaust, and then we're gonna what?
The favorite part I had for future trading was you'd have these setups, and like I'd always trade in these Discord groups where like people are live commentating the charts, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's an accumulation zone. Like we're about to break. We're gonna break up," and then it would inevitably break down every time. But just a little bit, enough that everyone is now complaining that their stop losses just hit and they just lost like a quarter of their portfolio, and then it would immediately go the direction they thought it would. So it wasn't that technical analysis was wrong. It was just that the market's being actively manipulated against people who think they're smart. So, basically just buy an index fund is the
basically just follow Nancy Pelosi. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
that's.
Of course, you're operating off delayed news, and she's getting like real time insights about the defense budget's allocations, and you're like, oh, she bought Boeing 3 weeks ago, and then by the time you get in, it's like trade's over because like the F-35.
The door already fell off. Nancy was like, yeah, we play it.
Yeah, FAA gave her tips. Yeah, but Technical analysis might not be.
Corruption isn't real. Everything's fine. People are great, and birds are real. So, you know.
There was a CIA like inside document though for a patent with like a bird.
For a bird drone?
Yeah, a bird drone.
Yeah.
That actually like flapped its wings, had recording devices, and I think there might be something there.
Yeah, no, that's fake.
Because there's no way pigeons are real, man.
No, have you seen them? No way. You're telling me birds popped out blue, green, and purple? Heck no.
That or the movie The Birds, the best horror film of all time.
Yeah. Were those birds real?
Probably. That was pretty scary.
Attack drones.
That's what was that? What was that software security company that had the big meltdown? Like
CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike. Yeah. Some CrowdStrike. That was CrowdStrike's first meltdown and set all the pigeons ablaze. In the movie Birds. That was them.
Oh yeah.
It's really long.
It's like The Simpsons predicting the future.
It was like a stretch stroke. I was like, whew. Wow, this has been Byte Sized Business, the show on the internet that makes all things internet business and birds easy to swallow. I've been your host, Jim. This is my co-host, Hayden. If we talked about anything interesting, let us know in the comments. We do read every single comment. Every single one of them. Every single one.
And as a public service announcement to end this off, please change the batteries in your smoke.
Please change the battery.
Please.
Speaking of birds, them ceiling birds.